Hey y'all, happy Tuesday. Let's just say a lot of people think that there are a lot of recession indicators that are happening, but you got to remember Trump said the other day that we are heading towards a depression. So let's get right into it.
The biggest recession indicator to me right now is how people react when they find out somebody they know live at home with their family. Because back in the day, you were getting roasted. If you were in your 20s, early 30s, and you lived at home, you were getting cooked. If you watch them old movies, they be telling them, oh, you live at home with your mom, you're a loser, you're not gonna get dates, you need to grow up, you need to become an adult. People are not moving like that anymore. You find out someone lives at home with their family in today's world, you like, so bro, you telling me that you don't pay rent and you got a good relationship with your parents? How did you do it? like people that turn living at home from being broke to, oh, I'm stacking. Like, bro, we live in the opposite day. The economy is cooked. It's cooked.
No, we're already in a recession and they're just not talking about it. Well, how would I know that? I'm not an economist. I own a small business that's non-essential. What does that mean? I don't sell food, water, fuel, things that people need to survive every single day. So what's my biggest indicator? My client's buying power has dropped significantly. It's almost down by half. That means people are tightening their belts and they don't have the buying power that they used to have last year. You also want to look at other businesses, the businesses that are going bankrupt thanks to venture capitalists. You also want to look at companies like Sephora that are starting to run sales more frequently on certain items. They never used to do that. You also want to look at hair salons because when women don't have extra money, they stop doing their hair at the salon. Their nails stop getting done. I don't know if you know this, but this coming year in 2026, the princess nail is back. What does that mean? Shorter nails, which means less money at the salons because people are not going to have the money to spend. They already know it's coming. But don't you think it's funny that the government is pushing us into a recession even faster by cutting funding to services the poor and the middle class need and giving it to the richest of the rich? Don't you think that tax cuts should be given to the middle class and the poor and not the rich? Don't you think we should be taxing them more to fund services that everyday Americans actually need? Because why do they need private jets? Why do they need 500 houses? Why do they need so much money that they have to stash in offshore banks and shell companies in other countries?
All the strippers I know in Las Vegas and some of the ones I follow on social media are saying similar things about how the clientele is not tipping in the strip club the way that they used to. Regular servers and bartenders are also saying that they're receiving less tips overall. The stats are all there to prove that people are shopping less, people are eating out less, and people are just spending less money on consumerism. Secondly, the CDC just reported that women are having less babies, and honestly, the economy is one of the biggest reasons why. I have a very long list of reasons of why I am never bringing children onto this planet, but people are financially struggling right now, moving back in with their parents, living paycheck to paycheck, losing their jobs to AI. The idea of bringing kids into this world to struggle and suffer does not sound enticing in the slightest. Which brings me to the third recession indicator, and it's that people in their 20s and 30s are moving back in with their parents. And honestly, we're not judging each other for it. I personally can't do that because my husband and I love the city of Las Vegas way too much to ever leave it. So we simply would not move in with our parents. But the idea of not having to pay rent is such an awesome thing right now that nobody in their 20s and 30s is judging each other for that. The next one is that Vegas tourism is down bad, so badly that Las Vegas casinos are actually offering discounts and incentives to convince people to come back to Las Vegas. Tourism is down in Las Vegas, whether you want to acknowledge it or not, and it makes me really sad because I'm a proud Vegas local and I actually want to see my city thrive. Vegas casinos are notoriously known for being extremely greedy, but with everything going on, they're actually offering discounts and incentives to get people to come, and that even includes some of them are waiving their resorts fee. And the last recession indicator, as I'm scrolling on TikTok, I'm seeing lash technicians, nail technicians, Brazilian waxers, so many people who work in the beauty industry, and they're saying that they're losing clientele because girls are trying to figure out how they can do all of these services DIY and do all of their beauty services at home so they can save money. So if the beauty industry isn't doing well, even though we live in a patriarchal society where women are told that if we are not beautiful, we are worth nothing, women are still not investing their dollars into beauty services because they're trying to figure out how to save money and do these beauty services on their own.
Well, Moodys is ready to declare that the United States of America is in a recession. Moodys. They're waiting a few more minutes for some additional data to come in before they make that declaration. Now, by definition, we are technically in a recession when one of 5 or 6 different indicators have been hit. Facts have been hit. And the one indicator that has been met for a recession is the decline in payroll, specifically because jobs have been cut. So what Moody's does, they've been doing this forever. They send out 400 surveys to 400 different industries. Now, if there's any single month that over 50% or more send back their survey saying they've had a decrease in payroll because they've had to cut jobs, we're technically in a recession. We've started a recession, and then there'll be more indicators that happen after that. Well, for July, the surveys came back, and 53% of these 400 industries have had a decrease in payroll because they've had to cut jobs. Okay? Now, their only hesitation to declaring that we are now in the start of a recession is the jobs figures. The number of job openings don't correlate with the recession indicator because the number of job openings right now have been artificially inflated because we have deported a bunch of foreign workers.
I do want you guys to let me know what you think about this in the comments. Do you think that we're already in a recession? Do you feel like we're more in a depression? Because like I said, this has been going on the last couple of years. A lot of people think that we're already in a recession. Some think that we're in a depression. I personally feel like we are in a recession. And once you start hearing like the bigger folks start talking about it, it's because we are already in that active phase of whatever's happening. So again, just like when a lot of things happen, like there's a lot of background noise and people talk about it online and it doesn't hit mainstream media. Not that that's completely accurate, but again, once it hits there, it's like it's too late. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this video up. I do feel like a lot of good points were made in this video. Some you wouldn't necessarily have thought would be indicators, but it's good that it's been brought to our attention. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up, you guys. Take care, stay safe, and I will see you guys in the next video.